What's good, Commanders fans, and happy Saturday. Hope everybody has a great weekend. We got the Falcons tomorrow, and they have announced that Jaden Daniels is out. Also, Terry McLaurin will not be playing. Also, John Bates. I mean, none of these are surprises, except to me, Jaden a little bit. I actually thought he was going to play because he did the presser on Wednesday. And he just was so frustrated. Like, he was just like, it's up to the doctors and stuff like that. He gave very short answers. I thought he looked a little spry. I thought he looked pretty spry in the videos that were posted before, or like some of the drills they were doing during practice. I thought he looked a little spry, or pretty spry, in my opinion. Percy Butler's questionable. He didn't practice all week, so I don't think he's gonna play. JCM Bill, full participant yesterday, so he's questionable. He's gonna play, in my opinion. Trey Amos, full participant. He's gonna play. Coulter Yankov, full participant. He's going to play, but. Marcus Mariota gets revenge game part 2, and I think we're totally fine. We're totally fine with Marcus Mariota. I think we do have arguably the best backup quarterback, if not number one, then top 2, top 3 in the NFL for sure. And we have an identity now, which I love. You know, we've had an identity before, but with Marcus, it looks like Cliff is, you know, he makes a decision to run the football a little bit more. I'm not gonna say really a little bit more, but I think the 2 games we won, of course. And we're, top 3 in rushing or something like that? I got to look at the stat. Or number 2 in rushing per game. And that's our identity. So we really have to do that and get to our bread and butter. So, but Jaden is out. Terry is out. Other guys got to step up. Whether it's Luke McCaffrey, whoever, Debo, of course, and Chris Moore now, and Jalen Lane. And other guys are just going to have to step up. So we'll see if they elevate Ja'Cory Brooks to the 53-man roster. We'll see if that happens. AJ Terrell is out, which is huge. That is big news. That is a big help. Like I said, I don't wish on injuries or anything like that. I want to play them full strength. But AJ Terrell being out is a big deal. That is a big help with their corner being out. Their number 1 cornerback, D. Alford, is okay, but he certainly can be had. He certainly can be had by Debo or whoever. Cliff can scheme some guys open for sure. But all right, so storylines for this. Dan Quinn, of course, going back to Atlanta. As a head coach, you know, he was fired by Atlanta. He's always been known for the 28-3 loss. 28-3 where they were up. And then they ended up losing to the Patriots in the Super Bowl. So, of course, he's always going to be remembered for that. But he had some darn good years with the Falcons. He did. Had some really good years. Also, we have not lost to the Falcons since 2021. I know that doesn't matter, but we've been spanking them, pulling the belt out. BTA against the Falcons for the most part. We are going to take over their stadium. I see a lot of Commanders fans already down there having fun, partying and whatnot. So we're going to take over their stadium once again like we have in the past. Marcus Mariota, revenge game, talked about that. Raheem Morris and Dan Quinn have the connection. Kirk Cousins on the bench. It could get ugly to the point where he plays. We'll see. Or if Penix just doesn't play well in the first quarter, like throws a pick or two where we don't force turnovers, but I think this is going to be our first game where we force a turnover this game. I think it's going to be an interception, not just a strip fumble or a fumble. I think it's going to be a legitimate interception where we take the football away. So that's their narrative. The Falcons fired their wide receivers coach, Ike Hilliard. They used him as a scapegoat. They're moving their offensive coordinator from the booth down to the field. So they are in desperation mode. They are desperate. There's a radio show in Atlanta that also said if they lose to Marcus Mariota, they need to fire Raheem Morris. So I don't want to see Raheem Morris get fired. I'm rooting for him a little bit, not this game. But that would be hilarious if we do that. And we actually do get Raheem Morris fired after his second season coaching with the Falcons and 4 games in. That would be crazy. But their offensive coordinator, I feel like if we win this game, they're going to fire somebody else. They are. They just are. But that's it for the injury report for the most part and storylines. So let's get to predictions here. Let's get to today's sponsor, Sleeper. What's good, Commanders fans? And shout out to today's sponsor, Sleeper. Daily fantasy sports app. I got a great promo code deal for you guys using code Oliver. First time users get 100% deposit match up to $100 using promo code Oliver. Terms and conditions apply. Check out the link down below in the description and download the app as soon as possible. So we're going to make some NFL picks each week. We are 1-3, but on the app you can do more or less on passing yards, receiving yards, rushing yards, anytime touchdown scorers. Receptions, which is one of my favorite ones, rushing attempts, kicking points, any stat, tackles you can do more or less, any stat you can think about in football, even sacks, defensive sacks. So any stat you can think about, you can do more or less. So my picks for the week is over Carson Wentz of half a passing yard, which is a good discount that they're giving. I get it as Carson Wentz, and then I'm going to do more on 64.5 receiving yards for Drake London. I hate to pick an opponent, but we have been giving up a good amount of receiving yards to Trey Tucker last week. Who else? Jacoby Myers has 60 receiving yards. Malik Neighbors had like 69 or 70 receiving yards, so I think we're going to give up a decent amount of receiving yards to Drake London. Still win the game, though. But promo code Oliver, make sure you guys use that. Let's get back to the video. Peace. Shout out to today's sponsor, Sleeper, once again. Like I said, I have Drake London getting more receiving yards, 64.5. Pair that with Carson Wentz over a half a passing yard, that discount deal, which is a really darn good deal. You got to take advantage of that on Sleeper. I hate to pick the opponents, but I just feel like I feel like he's gonna get a good amount of yards. You look at Drake London's games against us. He had 125 in 2023, and then last year he had 106 receiving yards in 2024 against us. I get it, that's against a whole different cornerback room with Ben St. Jude, Michael Davis, who's awful. That was one of the worst cornerback rooms probably in the history of NFL. And he had a good game against them on Sunday Night Football. But I think, Trey Amos, I'm intrigued to see the Trey Amos matchup versus Drake London. I'm intrigued to see Marshawn Lattimore versus Drake London. That's going to be a really good matchup. And Darnell Mooney's a good receiver too, Ray McLeod. They got some good guys, man. They're a talented team. They really are. It's just the quarterback is struggling right now. The offensive coordinator is struggling right now. And they're just not playing good football. They got blown up by the Panthers 30-0, which is insane. How do you get shut out by the Panthers of all teams? I mean, that's really awful to have a goose egg against the Carolina Panthers and allow them to have 30 points, 30-0, like a skunk, BTA. They just dominated them from really start to finish. Bryce Young didn't even have to really do much. And Michael Penix got benched. That's how bad he was. Like, they didn't even get the ball past the 30-yard line. That's how bad they were. The kicker was bad, John Parker Romo, who they chose over Young Ho Koo. He was bad just from top to bottom. Like, they were just not playing good football at all. So, keys to victory here. So, offense, protect Marcus Mariota. That's a given. But Marcus be Marcus, man. I would have a similar game plan to what we did against the Raiders, where we're running the football, RPO. Marcus Mariota is selling it. He's really selling the handoff to Bill or to C-Rod or to Jeremy McNichols, or if Donovan Edwards is elevated, whoever is in that running back, the committee that we have, Marcus be Marcus, and sell that RPO fake. He really, really puts people in a spin cycle and really he's almost like a magician. Like, they really don't know where the ball is going. Like, you can see guys go that way and Marcus is going the other way. Like, that's how good he is at the RPO and just selling the fake and selling the handoff. So he needs to continue that. I think Jaden is good at it too, but when Jaden does return, that's something that I really want to see him do, and that he didn't do that against the Packers when Lucas Van Ness basically was going to tackle the running back. He was ready to tackle the running back and didn't pay any attention to Jaden Daniels. There's times where the defense is just they're going to go for that run and really think the running back's going to take it. But Marcus just dips off. And he did it against the Cowboys too on that 4th and 1. And he did it a couple times against the Raiders last week. So continue to do that. Run the football with Bill, C-Rod. I'm not going to say I don't care who gets the ball, but we have such a good committee. Yes, I want to see Bill get his touches. But if it's McNichols who leads us in rushing, I couldn't care less. If he's getting 70 or 80 or 100 rushing yards and he has that 60-yard run like he had against the Raiders. Same thing with C-Rod. If C-Rod is hot, give C-Rod the ball. If Bill is hot, give Bill the ball. That's what really matters to me. Whoever is hot, whoever has the hot hand. Of course, we want to see Bill get Rookie of the Week. We want to see him do this and that. But whoever has the hot hand, get him the football. Protect Marcus Mariota. This is a game where you don't really have to chip or double anybody like we talked about for the last couple weeks, where you got to chip and double Michael Parsons. You got to chip and double Max Crosby. James Pierce is darn good. The guy from Georgia, the rookie, is darn good. Ruka Rororo is a solid pass rusher as well. Like, they have some guys that can get to the quarterback for sure, but they don't have like a super dominant pass rusher where it's like, oh my goodness, you got a really, really game plan and double team him. Leonard Floyd is a good pass rusher. David Onyemata can get to the quarterback too. They blitz a lot. They're top 6 in blitz rate as well, so they really do get after the quarterback. They got after J.J. McCarthy. They got after Baker a little bit. But like I said, this could be a solid, really good game for Josh Connolly as well, which I'm looking forward to. Other key, get deep with the ball. Like I said, receivers got to step up. Luke McCaffrey. Who else? Debo, of course. Chris Moore. it doesn't matter who it is, but other guys on the roster have to show a pulse. And, you know, we're going to run the ball a lot. So I'm not expecting somebody to go out there and get like 100 receiving yards or anything like that. Jalen Lane's got to catch the football. He's got to bring it down. We need to see more from him than just, and the punt return is great, but we definitely need him. We need him as a receiver out there because he gets open. He's so quick and he's so fast, taking the top off the defense. Running the football, that's our identity. Receivers step up. No yak, Zach, of course. Offensive line, hold up. Get the ball out quickly, the screen game, and just have the same game plan. Will we go on? Are we going to go for it on fourth down a lot and be aggressive? That's something I want to see. No penalties. I don't really think the crowd noise is going to affect us much. Just clean up the penalties on the offensive line. We had a couple holding penalties on Laramie Tunzel and Josh Connolly on the same play. So like I said, the offensive game plan for me is very simple. Keep the up-tempo going. Keep the no-huddle going. And just have our identity. I think Cliff's going to be fine because we have a full week. I mean, I just, if we play the same game we did last week, where we can run the football, and I think we should be fine. We really should be, and have a couple design runs for Marcus too. Not just the RPOs, but I would have a couple regular, like some quarterback draws, some design runs, some legit design runs for Marcus Mariota as well. All right, defense. Get pressure on Michael Penix. If you can pressure him and rattle him and get to him in the first quarter of the first half, I really think he can be benched. If he throws a pick or two, his confidence will be rattled, and that's a wrap for him. Same thing with the Panthers game. If you can get to him quickly and often, they are on their third string right tackle. Caleb McGarry is out for the season, so they need to take advantage of that. Dorrance Armstrong, Frankie, Preston Smith needs to be active. Elijah Wilkinson is their third string right tackle. So Dorrance, Preston, Javonte John Baptiste, all these guys need to get after him. Javon Kinlaw, Jerron Payton, they need to have a good game like they did last game where they dominated in the run, slowing down Bijan Robinson. Slowing down the run is going to be the really biggest key, man. Bijan Robinson, he is the head of the snake. Like, I get it. They have Drake London. They have Darnell Mooney. They have Kyle Pitts. They have a lot of good players. Ray McLeod. They have a lot of talent. Tyler Algier is good too. But if you can slow down Bijan, he's going to get his. I would say keep him under 80 rushing yards. I think if they can do that, that is a huge win. I thought they did a solid job against Josh Jacobs. They did a solid job against Tyrone Tracy and Cam Scatterbo. They did a really good job against Ashton Genty for the most part. So if they can continue that with the run defense, setting the edge is going to be huge. They do a lot of outside runs for Bijan and check him as a receiver too. Kyle Pitts as well. Jordan McGee, can he get some playing time? Ali Cahoe, if he gets some playing time. Guys that can run with the tight ends. We'll see how we do against Kyle Pitts. But that's really, I'll keep it simple as well for the defense, man. Nothing cheap, nothing deep. Marshawn Lattimore, I want to see how he does against Darnell Mooney or Drake London. Same thing with Trey Amos. Mikey Sanders, still, can he have a bounce back game as well? Ball is life. Can we finally force a turnover? We have not forced a turnover all season. So let's see if that happens. But like I said, this is a similar game plan to the Raiders. Special teams is going to be huge. Jalen Lane, Debo returning kicks. Matt Gay, this is a dome, so there's no excuses, no weather, no crazy weather, anything like that. It's going to be very nice in there. They're closing the roof as well, so Matt Gay, no excuses. But anything over 53 or 52, I probably would go for it if we're in their territory. I would be aggressive this game. I really would. We know Tressway is going to do a good job as well. But challenges, going for it on fourth down. Dan Quinn has been a little iffy this year, sometimes a little soft. Sometimes he's been a little aggressive, but more on the softer side this year for whatever reason. So get back to that aggressive side. And clock management, 2-minute warnings before the end of the first half, before halftime. And 2-minute warnings. Timeouts as well. He's been a little iffy this year so far. So that's something I want to see him get back to how he was last year. But some stats. Michael Penix has the lowest deep pass rate in the NFL, so he's been bad. He's been 1 of 19 on passes over 15 yards. Out of shotgun, they pass 92% of the time as well, which is really, really predictable. So they have a really predictable offense. They may switch it up. They're going to try to switch it up. They have their backs against the wall. They are in fight or flight mode. They are really fighting for their season right here. We can end their season like we end the Giants season. Let's end another team season, and let's get a coach fired. Let's do that. That's something I want to see on Sunday. And third down defense is going to be huge. We're number 1 in third down defense, guys, which is crazy to say. We are number 1 in third down defense. Third down defense is going to be huge. It really is. That's just crazy. Red zone defense, we're really good at that too. We're pretty solid in red zone defense. The Falcons are really bad in the red zone too. So red zone defense is going to be very, very, very important. We're 5th in scoring in the red zone. Atlanta is 30th in scoring in the red zone. So that's something that's going to be huge as well. So But all right, you guys. Jeremy Reeves, he's probably going to be starting too, so pay attention to that. Quan Martin, how does he do? Darnell Savage, does he play? So that's something you got to pay attention to. Some of the new guys that we've signed, and some of the injury impacts as well. With Jeremy Reeves going to be starting, but I think Jeremy Reeves is going to be fine and have a good game. So, all right, you guys let me know what you guys think. I think this is going to be the first game where we do force a turnover. Ben Sinnott, keep doing a good job as well. I want to shout him out. Chris Pohl, keep doing a good job as well. They both did good jobs blocking. Ben Sinnott, he probably won't get a catch, but if he can block for a Bill in the run game, C-Rod, Jeremy McNichols, whoever, then that's all we really need from Ben Sinnott at this point, really. And Trent Scott can be that sixth offensive lineman out there, too. So, all right, you guys let me know what you guys think. As always, I do have us winning this game 23-17 or 20-17. I think Michael Penix throws a game-sealing interception, or we have a game-winning for us interception towards the end of the game with about like a minute left or something like that. That's what I think is going to happen. So, all right, you guys. Hell's Commanders. Peace.